My name is Dr. Javid Abdelmoneim. I've just come back from South Sudan where I was working in Jonglei State. My position was as the medical doctor within the flying team of Jonglei. A typical day would start with waking up quite early if it was a flight day. So we'd be at base, we'd be in Juba in the capital city, and we'd know that that day we're flying to one of our sites. We'd go to the airport, we wouldn't have any customs or anything because we have a flying pass, drive straight onto the runway, get on the aircraft, whether it be a small Cessna or a helicopter, depending on weather conditions and the weight of what we were taking with us. We'd fly about an hour and 15 minutes to whichever location. We'd arrive, and then we'd spend the next 3 or 4 days training the local staff, collecting the statistics, performing consultations if it was a mobile clinic. And we'd live there. We'd take our tents, we'd take our water, we'd take our food, we'd have campfires. 3 or 4 days, 5th day, wake up, fly straight back to Juba. This is a video of our goodbye. I think the impact that we made in our flying team with MSF in Jonglei State is huge on 2 levels. How are you? Medically speaking, there's no other medical organisation working in Jonglei as far as I know. The Red Cross are in one place doing trauma surgery, but we're the only people doing medical care in those 4 centres. And the centres were chosen because geographically it's more northerly, more southerly, easterly and westerly, and that way you have a good coverage. You know, when you do a mobile clinic for 4 days and no one has been there for 2 years, and the nearest place that has medicine doesn't even have a medic, but there are medicines you can purchase in the market, God knows what quality they are, is an 8-hour walk one way. And you go and you do a mobile clinic and everybody just comes, they're queuing from pre-dawn. You feel that impact for those individuals, you know, and some might just come in and explain, and they come in and they explain all their ailments in the last 6 months. You know, 3 months ago I had this, but that's better now. You know, for them it's just the chance of seeing a medic is huge, you know, so on those and for those people the impact's great. Also, it's getting out there, it's showing that MSF is willing and able to go out to these places where no one else is. So it really raises the awareness of the local population of MSF, and that gives you a sort of a relationship where trust is built, and it also gives you safety. So when the conflict, or if ever the conflict comes up again, all the population will say, hey, those guys are cool, they help us, keep them safe, and that gives us that ability to stay when we need to stay. We're very much in Jonglei, at least anyway, very much in a sort of post-conflict situation where it's a complicated context. That the tribe that's the majority in Jonglei negotiated a peace settlement with both sides of the conflict to remain neutral. So right now there's peace, there's no fighting. In terms of affecting my daily work, it still meant that we couldn't stay in our locations of work, which is why we were a flying team. So we flew in, did our work for 3 or 4 days, flew out, and then on to the next site. If you're thinking of joining MSF as a logistician or as a medic or whatever your role might be, I think my message to you would be, don't think you'll want to do only one mission. Once you're in, you'll be hooked for life.